Okay, so in our last lesson, we were talking about the certain things that are the responsibilities and some tactics of the first speaker on each team. And today, I want to go into a little bit of detail on the second speakers of each team. So before we do that, the videos. One, two, three, four. We've got the majority of the class, yeah, actually, so we will do that today. I'm just going to send the videos to my Messenger account so I can play them on my tablet. Okay. Tablet. Okay, so while we're waiting for those videos to send, let's recap about what we remember about the first proposition and opposition speaker. So let's start with the proposition speaker. Can someone please tell me one of their responsibilities? Can someone please tell me one of the responsibilities of the first affirmative speaker? That's good, Tom, so you shouldn't be hoogry today. So who can tell me something about the first proposition speaker? What is it their job to do? No, not herd mentality, goodness. So the first proposition speaker, it's their job to Luna.
About the first proposition speaker, that's all.
Say that again, sorry, Luna, you cut out a bit.
Just wanted to similarly answer, that's all.
Oh, I still didn't hear that very well. Your microphone's very, very patchy today. Cuts in and out a lot.
Yeah, and you speak kind of. How about now?
Still a bit choppy. Oh, goodness.
But can you understand?
That was better. That was more clear.
Well, I just wanted to answer.
Yep. So what is an answer for the first proposition speaker? What do they do?
Well, they would be like the representative for the team. They have there's a lot of a chance to win. They have an advantage because if they do the job well, then they win.
Very good. So there we go. So it's their job to set up a strong case for their team. Okay. So they are like, how would I word that? So they need to make a good first impression. Very good. Who else can tell me something about the first proposition speaker? Goodness gracious, guys. You're going mental in the chat box already. We're not even 10 minutes into the lesson. So who else can tell me something important about the first proposition speaker's role? What do they have to do? They have to set up a strong case for their team. They have to make a good first impression. Andrew?
They need to introduce their team arguments.
Very good. Very good. What's something else that's very, very important for the proposition speaker to do? John?
The first proposition speaker need to deliver their own argument and establish credibility plus persuasiveness.
Very good, John. Very good. So they need to make their own arguments. They need to establish credibility. They need to engage the audience. And be as persuasive as possible. Well done, guys. Good job. So now we move into the responsibilities of the first negative speaker. Who can tell me one of the responsibilities of the first negative speaker? Go on, John. You got there first.
The first opposition speaker have to challenge the proposition's stance on the argument. They have to analyze the opposition's argument, look for flaws, inconsistencies, and lay out their own argument, their own team line, and their own arguments.
Very good. So they have to challenge the proposition's position. They need to look for flaws and weaknesses in the proposition's arguments. They have to, let's test my memory. What was the third thing he said? So challenge the proposition's position, look for flaws and weaknesses in the proposition's arguments. And they also have to present their own team line and their own arguments. Very good. Andrew, can you think of anything else that John didn't say?
I think
He didn't leave you with a lot, did he?
Tom's idea are enough.
Sounds good. John nailed them all. Good job. So we see here and actually I'll add one more. Actually, I'll bring the bottom two jobs over to the opposition speaker as well. They need to try and establish credibility, and they need to engage the audience to do so as well. So really good job, guys. Really good job. Now, can we remember some of the tactics? Very good, John. So the time management thing actually comes down to every debater on the team, because no debater should go over their time limits. So what are some of the tactics or some of the strategies for the first proposition speaker? Yes, Andrew.
So I think both of the proposition and the opposition speakers need to have a strong persuasiveness of the audience, and that makes the other speaker of their team can easily persuade the audience too. So that is important.
Very good. So they need to focus on persuasion. Why is this not writing? There we go. Focus on persuasion. Very good. John, what about you? What's a tactic that the first proposition speaker needs to focus on?
They have to anticipate counter arguments from opposition and start undermining your opponents.
Very good. Very good. And can anybody else think of one other tactic for the first proposition? Andrew.
They need to discuss their argument a little bit further.
Yeah, so they need to focus on their arguments when they're presenting them. So which part of their arguments do you think the proposition should focus on?
I think the proposition should really focus on the evidence and the explanation.
Very good. So the proposition needs to focus on delivering as strong evidence as possible. Well done. Okay, now let's have a look at the opposition, guys. What are some of our tactics for the opposition? I'm going to ask Hugri. So it's nice to see somebody new putting their hand up. So Hugri, what is a tactic that the first opposition speaker should focus on?
It could be try to make something really strong, a really strong foundation, so that her team would have a lot of dead ends to work on, and that could potentially lead to winning.
Very good. So they should create a strong base argument for their team. To build on. Very good. So they need to come in strong with their own arguments to help create a really strong case for their team right off the bat. Good job.
Teacher,
And
Katie
yes.
is mimicry you.
Who's mimicking me?
It's Katie.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Katie, how could you do that? How could you do that? I thought we were friends.
I search and I find that in the Google Chrome.
What did you find in Google?
I find you and I find the picture of you.
Oh goodness, there's a picture of me on Google. Oh,
Let me try.
Yeah.
No, nobody tries. Kevin, we don't say stuff like that, mate. Not in a class like this. Okay, so who can think of another strategy for the oppositions? Who can think of another strategy? Andrew.
So they really need to make a big hole in the proposition argument.
Very good. So we need to look for weaknesses, flaws, fallacies in propositions, arguments. Very good. And what is our last strategy for the first negative speaker? So we've looked for weaknesses. We're creating a strong base for our arguments. Guys, enough. What's our final strategy for the opposition? Andrew.
Okay, so they also need to persuade their arguments and to fight against the persuasiveness of the first proposition speaker.
Very good. So they need to, we need to create strong counter arguments. Very good, guys. Okay, so I've managed to get most of the videos. I've got 6 of them in total. I've managed to got 4 of them onto my tablet. And I'll keep working on the others. All right, so I've got John and Andrew. I've got Amy and I've got Katie. Okay. So, John, Andrew, Katie, Amy. So I'm going to play some of these videos now that we've gotten for the homework. And we want to watch and assess how these guys are debating. So everyone watch, pay attention. We're going to start with John's video, and then we'll play Andrew's rebuttal. And if we want, we can use our judging score sheets, and we can grade these videos. We'll give them a score. So here we go.
Hello everyone, my name is John. Today I'm going to debate about should children eat healthy food? I think children should eat healthy food more because healthy food help the children stay fit and healthy. They help develop their muscles, bones, and brain, and they help the digestive system to working normally too. If the child don't eat just vegetable with the meal, they will be fat and unhealthy, and they can't develop the bones, so they will be very short. And another tip of being short is being fat. If your tummy is too big, and this is your body is this big, and your feet is really small, and your bone can't stand the weight of it, it will not grow, and it can't grow, and sometimes they may crack their bones or even break their bones. And if the children is not healthy, they can have a few problems like blood sugar in blood, heart attack, and many others. And if your child don't eat vegetables, the meals, they may have some problem with their digestive system, and their bones, muscles, and brain can't develop too. So that's all for today. Goodbye and see you next time.
Okay, did you guys all hear that video?
Yeah, it is have a very clear sound.
Excellent. Okay, so let's now play Andrew's rebuttal, and then we'll talk about both videos. So here's Andrew's rebuttal.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the debate. I am the first speaker of the opposition side, and as the opposition, I'm gonna act against our motion today. So our topic is, should children eat healthy food? And I disagree with it, yeah. And now let's thinking about what the proposition speaker said, okay? So the first speaker of the proposition said that eating healthy food causes us to be being fat, okay? So it's not really like that. So being fat, some kind of like peanuts makes it being fat because of the oils in it. And being fat makes it short, okay? At least you can still be tall when you're fat, but being so heavy cannot cause anything to our bones. And eating meat, so meat is an example of an unhealthy food, okay, can make our bones stronger than vegetables, okay, and cause diseases, okay. Now, cause diseases, both can cause diseases, okay. And now let's thinking about it. Diseases, so unhealthy food cause diseases, but these diseases are kind of like a normal thing. Heart attack or too much sugar in blood are normal thing, okay. So vegetables and fruit can cause a major thing to our health too. And now let's see my argument. So I think that healthy food are bad, okay. So eating only them are bad for our body because we don't have enough proteins in our body, okay. Enough proteins to grow, and without proteins we have bone cancers. And less sugar in our blood can cause major diseases that it can stay with you for your whole life. Okay, very bad. And according to a study in Harvard Medical School, a senior said that many Americans had heart attack or less sugar in their blood because not enough protein in their body. And another thing that is some crops, food, vegetables, okay, have GMO in it. So have you heard about GMO's food? So it's the chemical that farmers use to prevent from growing weeds and to make crops grow faster, okay. But this kind of chemical is bad for our body, okay. This kind of chemical can make us have heart attack or heart cancer, okay. It's really dangerous, and that disease is kinda none of us can makes the disease calm down, okay. So that is really dangerous, and these are my arguments. Thank you for listening to me. I'm glad you're here with me to listen to my argument. I'll see you next time.
Okay, so I'm just tallying up my scores from these two videos. So give me just one moment and I'll give you your feedback and your scores. Ooh, it was a very, very close one. So in the end, I gave, I can see you praying, Andrew. I can see you praying. So in the end, my final scores were John scored 60 points and Andrew scored, I want to see if I can make him melt just a little bit more before I tell him. No, Andrew scored 64 points. So it was very close, very, very close. So my scores are as follows. So for organization and clarity, you both scored 3 points. So we have some stuff to work on there, just the overall structure of your speech, but still was a good start for a first proper go at this. For your arguments, I scored you both 4. So you both presented some very good ideas. You both presented some very strong ideas as well, so good job. For evidence, I gave John a 2 out of 5 because I didn't remember, like I didn't actually hear any sources, but you still had some good examples. So for this situation, I would suggest using evidence that you can source and cite because it will make your argument stronger in the long run. Andrew, I gave you a 4 for your evidence because I heard you talking about the study from Harvard Medical School. So well done, you provided a good quality source there. And for presentation and style, I gave John a 3 because there were some instances in that video where you were you slowed down and you just kind of stopped and it looked like you were a bit lost. So we just need to practice your presentation a little bit more until you're very confident with it and you can stand there and deliver it really confidently. So that's the only comment for presentation. And Andrew, I gave you a 2 for presentation and style because similar thing happened there. You would slow down occasionally and I think you got a little bit lost. But as well, you also had a lot of okay, okay. So you had a lot of filler words in your speech, so words that you're just trying to fill the time with. And we need to definitely not do that because it makes you look like you're not sure. And if you look like you're not sure with your argument, the audience won't be sure with your argument either. And then finally, for rebuttals, I gave Andrew a 3. I heard at the beginning of your speech. Yes, I heard at the beginning of your speech, you had some good counter arguments and rebuttals for John's points. John didn't have any rebuttals because it wasn't his job to. So that gave you guys. Oh, and also Andrew, got to stick to 3 minutes maximum too. So that also lost you a point. You would have had 4 for organization and clarity, but you went over time. So I took a point away from that too. So that gave you guys a final score of John 12 and Andrew 16. But to make it fair, because Andrew had 5 categories to score from, I only times his score by 4, which was the number of categories that John had. And then I times John's score by 5 because that's the amount of categories that Andrew had to score from. So I evened it out that way on a bit of a curve. but still very close debate. Very good effort, guys. And yeah, in the next few classes, we're going to talk about the roles of the second and third speakers and how they feel, how they do their job on a team. And then we're going to do a bit of body language and voice projection, and then it's on to our mock debates and our practices. So we're going to have a couple of big debates coming up at the end to give everyone a chance to have a proper debate. So
Our debate
good job.
already. What's up?
Yeah, well, to my understanding, this class is continuing, I think, until sometime in August. So we want to be getting ready for your final assessments, your final debating tasks now. Okay, so on to our next pair of videos. Where's my list here? So we're going to have Katie versus Amy for this topic. So I'm going to share my screen again. Going to share my screen again. And I'm going to play you guys these videos. And I've also received, I have received Kevin and George's videos too, but for some reason I can't seem to share them to my tablet to play for the class, but just know I have seen them, I have got them. Okay, let's have a look at Katie's going to be our proposition speaker.
Hi, Teacher Michael. My name is Katie. You gave me and Amy the topic, should children need to eat healthy food? My opinion is no. Children don't always need to eat healthy food because children's body was full of fresh energy, and they will get that energy by sleeping, doing physical exercise. An article in Femix web say that children can actually grow taller when they sleep. Sleeping will help produce growth hormone. Therefore, they can eat a little bit of health food, but they don't always need them. Second, what if you and your friends created a party and you all invited your friends, and you and your friends wanted to buy a lot of junk food to celebrate the party, like if you were congratulating high school or you guys have a birthday party, then you will get a lot of junk food. And they will, and also if Amy said that milk tea is not good for people, the health, so I will say, or the children, so I will say that no, milk tea is good too, because in milk tea they will have cream, milk, sugar, and some sort of ingredients that were good for the health. And this is the end of my opinion, and thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Okay, so that was Katie's argument, although Katie, you were supposed to be the proposition. And let's hear Amy's rebuttal.
Hello, teacher. Today I will do my homework. You give the topic to Katie and me is, do children need to eat healthy? And now I will tell it. Yes, of course, I totally agree with this idea of children need to eat healthy food for many reasons. First, as children grow, they need a great amount of important nutrients to become strong and healthy. All the nutrients can be provided in a balanced diet with food which children need for their growth and development. For example,
Teacher,
calcium
may
and
I
vitamin D for the normal growth and development of bones in children. Iron for cognitive
Teacher, can I go to the
development.
bathroom?
Omega-3 for normal brain function. To get a healthy diet, children should eat variety of nutritious food from all the different food groups. They should eat lots of fruits and vegetables, lean meat and fish, nuts and seeds. Secondly, if children eat too much fast food or unhealthy diets such as hamburger, sweets, or fried chicken, it will have negative health effects on them. The process of making fast food is unknown to buyers. Moreover, fast food and processed food contain a lot of sugar, salt, and fat, which could cause many diseases for children's body like indigestion, obesity, diabetes. This is why fast food is really bad for children's health. Parents should not allow their children to eat much of fast food. A healthy diet can be very good for children's health because it provides vitamins and minerals for their development. So that's my homework. Goodbye, teacher.
Okay. So I'll go through and I'll tally up your scores. And then I'll tell you why I scored them that way. Okay, so in a grand total of 35 points, we have Katie, and with 44 points, we have Amy. So the reason that I've scored you this way is that for your organization and clarity, I gave I gave Katie a 2 and Amy a 3. So you both actually argued the opposite side of the debate that you were supposed to. So that's why I marked you guys down for the organization. But the clarity of your arguments, it was pretty good. Amy was just a little bit clearer with her arguments, so she got that extra point. There were some good examples given, but, oh, where are we here? Organization clarity, there we go. So your arguments, there were some good arguments presented why each side should and shouldn't eat healthy foods. So I thought your arguments were very well put together. So I gave Katie a 3 and Amy a 4 for that. Neither of you presented any evidence though. There were a few examples in there, which means I actually can't count. So I actually didn't even factor those evidence bits into your score. So let me retally that. Sorry, so your total scores come out to Katie 45 and Amy 52. So there was some examples there. So I gave you guys 2 points each for evidence, but in a topic like this, where we have such a big amount of evidence available, lots of studies, lots of studies, lots of evidence available, you really want to be making the most of that and use that to strengthen your arguments. Overall, for your presentation and style, I gave Katie a 2 because you were quite nervous on the video. It looked like you were nervous. You looked like you forgot what you were saying a few times. So yeah, so we just need to get you speaking a bit more confidently, and that score will go right up to a 4 or a 5, really easy. And because what, sorry? Yes. Yes.
Because when that video was created, it was too late. It was midnight already.
Oh my goodness. What are you doing making homework videos at? Okay. Yeah. That was sent in this morning. Okay. So in future, I would suggest to you just do it the next morning. Because this class, you had it at midday. If you woke up at say 8 a.m., you would have been a lot fresher, and yeah, you probably would have made a better video being fresher in the morning. But still, I thank you for getting it handed in. And Amy, I gave you a 4 for presentation and style. Because you spoke very confidently. When you stopped speaking, you took a moment, collected yourself, and then went right back into it nice and confidently. So very good job on the presentation and style. However, you didn't offer any rebuttals. So you didn't score any points for that. But still, both of you Very good job for your first try. Now, these are only scores that have been given in this class. So this was used more for what we need to work on to get better for our final debate. But we had some very good videos presented there. I'll watch any more that are handed in. So very good work, guys, on the ones that we saw today. Pardon?
About tonight.
How about tonight? I've got, excuse me, I've got Miss Tui's debate class to prepare for tonight. I'll be running that, so I won't be able to do a session this evening.
But you didn't say tonight. I said, how about mine?
How about yours? My apologies, I misheard you. Where is your video? I've got Amy, I've got Katie, I've got John, I've got Andrew, I've got George, I've got Kevin, and I've got Rio. Where's your... yeah, where is your video? Ah, okay. No worries. If you guys would like to present in class rather than doing it on a video, that works for me. Okay, so Luna, let me get my scorecard ready. You are going to be the opposition. You're going to be the proposition, sorry, Luna. So you get to go first. I've got to write this down on a new sheet of paper. Evidence. Presentation. And rebuttal. Okay, so whenever you're ready, Luna.
You sent
You sent it. Where did you send it? Okay. Okay, so I haven't received any videos. So yeah, just go ahead and present your argument now, and then we'll get Stella's rebuttal afterwards.
Well, I'll be
The-
at the session, and well, eating healthy food is extremely important for children to grow up because it helps our organs function. And that's just one reason, and it helps us to live and to feel alive, being and be healthy too. Another reason could be that well, eating healthy food would mean that we have a reduced chance of being blind because eating healthy would mean that our brain works well. So our brain doesn't work well, we can go blind. There's a case of that. And if we eat unhealthily, we can have cancer. And if you continue on an unhealthy diet, and you can actually be a hopeless case. But if you adopt a healthy diet with special foods that destroy the fragile and erratic blood vessels that feed the cancer, then it would help from a hopeless case of 99% of all nutrition goes to the cancer to 1% in just 2 years. That's amazing. And that is a real story, actually, from a cancer survivor. So if it is powerful, if eating healthily is this powerful, then it is important for sure.
Okay, very good job, Luna. So I have scored your debate. I've got your scores down here, so I just need to hear Stella's rebuttal, and then I can score you both. So whenever you're ready, Stella, take it away.
So I heard that it's really nice, or Luna, whatever it said. She said that when we eat unhealthy foods, it can lead to cancer or blind and brain problems. But it is not true for me. When I was little, like I was 5 or 6, I used to eat a lot of unhealthy food. it has no impression to me. And when I grow up, I said when I said my mom I want something a bit sweet only, my mom always said no, because she always think that it can give me a bad affection, a bad sickness, a cancer, or maybe a brain problem. But that is not true. For kids, I think kids should have unhealthy foods, whatever they like, because if they eat too healthy foods, it can affect their dreams like in their future. For me, I like eating ice cream. Let's for example, and I dream of like I having a lot of ice cream because I haven't eaten ice cream for a long time. And when I grow up, I have money because money can buy anything. I'm gonna buy on ice cream, and that can lead my I and my control only to buy ice cream. Not and then when I grow up, it will be harder for me to control my own body from stopping to buy sweets. So I think eating unhealthy foods is completely fine for kids. It is not so important for kids. So we just let kids be free, and kids like to eat anything is their choice because they have their own ways to be healthy, like sleep, having a diet, eating meat, not like eating too much sweet is gonna affect their own and they're gonna die or something like that, or have a very big brain problem, or they have to go to the hospital. So they just need to protect their body and have good habits. And about food, I think that is completely fine. And we should let kids be free and don't like, hey, kid, eat this, eat healthy, it's good, and don't like that. So that's the end.
Okay.
Can I rebut to that?
Pardon?
Can I rebut to her?
No, because the first proposition speaker doesn't get to rebut. All right, so I'm just going to do your scores now. Okay. Okay. So with 65 points, we have Luna. And with 52 points, we have Stella. So that was another close one. In fact, when you break it down to points before we multiplied them to get your final score, you actually both scored 13 points in total. So it was only the multiplication at the end to get your final total that put Luna ahead. So for your organization and clarity, I gave Luna 3 points and I gave Stella 2 points. And the reason for that was because Luna was just a little bit more organized in her speech. But you were both talking quite quickly at times. which suggests that you were a little bit nervous about giving that speech, or at least that's the impression I got. So we just need to make sure that both of you slow down a little bit and really focus on a good delivery of your information. For your arguments, I gave Luna a 4 and I gave Stella a 3. So here, where are my notes here? So actually, no, that would be evidence. Sorry, I need to quickly recalculate something. I just realized that I took a point off of arguments when I should have done it for evidence. Sorry. 6, 8, 14 times 4. So that would be. So that brings Stella's grand total up to 56, not 52, 56. Guys, you are being brutal today in the chats. Calm down.
Why should we?
You're supposed to be classmates, not going at each other like that. Anyway, so back on topic. Sorry, you both actually got 4 points for the arguments because the arguments were very good. For your evidence, I gave Luna a 3 and Stella a 2. So Luna's story, Luna's evidence, she was only going to get 2 points for that as well. But right at the end, she remembered to cite her source and say this was a true story from a cancer patient. So by giving us that bit of information, she scored an extra point in the evidence section. For presentation, you both got 3s. So you were both using a bit of body language. Hang on, I'm going to flip my camera the right way. You both used a bit of body language with your hands to do things. You were both looking at the camera from time to time to deliver your argument. But Luna, very occasionally, you would kind of just like look off over here like that in the camera, and then you'd start playing with your hair and you were sitting back in your chair, and then you'd come good again and you'd get right into the camera and you'd look at us and you'd deliver your speech, and then you'd go back to playing with your hair and looking off over here, and then you'd come back again. So we need to keep that consistent to where you're always engaging with your audience and using your hand gestures and looking at the camera. So very good. And Miss Stella, a little bit of the same. There were moments where you were terrific. And then there were also moments where you just kind of just broke that connection and just kind of came back a little bit, and then you get back into it again. So we need to keep you a bit more consistent with your confidence, looking at the camera, engaging with your audience. And finally, Stella, I gave you 3 points for your rebuttals. Luna obviously didn't get any because her side wasn't required to rebut. But I gave you 3 points for your rebuttals, Stella. You had a very good go at putting a counter argument together. If this were a real debate situation, though, what you would want to do is you would want to have some rebuttals pre-prepared ahead of time. And you don't even have to listen to your opponent's argument to do that. You just have to make sure that you, oh, hiccup, excuse me. You just have to make sure that you just think of as many arguments against your case as possible and just write them all down. And then if you need them during the debate, you've got them right there. You don't even have to think about them. So yeah, guys, everyone that I heard speak today, very, very good for your first proper attempt to structure your debate speech. So we're going to keep working on this in our next lesson. I'll post your homework to the Zalo group. And I'll see most of you on next Tuesday. And I'll see some of you, I think, tomorrow for a class. But very good job, everybody. Yes, Katie.
Have you ever go to somewhere, like going on a vacation?
Yeah, I've been to lots of places before. I've been to Thailand, France, Poland, England.
But never Singapore. Singapore's amazing.
Wait. Is Sentosa Island part of Singapore?
What did you
Have
say?
you ever go to Malaysia?
I think I have been to Malaysia once when I was a little kid, but I don't really remember it, so I don't count it.
Singapore this summer.
By the way, guys, can I just say, get yourself some celery. You can't really see it very well, but get yourself some celery, cut it up into little sticks like that, and then get yourself some peanut butter, and you dip the celery into the peanut butter. It is the best snack I have ever had. So tasty.
You made me hungry.
Well, it is lunchtime for you guys in Vietnam, isn't it?
Yeah, all of us are Vietnamese.
Yes.
Very good. Well,
Yes.
I'll let you guys go and get some lunch. Fantastic effort today. I'll post your homework in the Zalo group. Well done, everybody. Well done, everybody.
Goodbye,
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Goodbye.
Good boy, all the tomato.
Bye-bye.